Hey folks, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report with your NHL Workshop. That's right, NHL Handicapping Workshop for a Monday, April 19th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your day. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner or hit the subscribe button below this video. All right, switching it up here a bit, folks. And as you can see, we're doing 20-minute segments of handicapping. There's a double right there. Handicapping seminar or workshop. So NHL Handicapping Workshop. And what we're going to do is we're going to break up the, instead of doing a full show of an hour and keeping, if you're just a hockey guy and you're listening, you don't want to listen to baseball or basketball, you just want the hockey information. Well, we're going to do a 20-minute segment on just hockey, a 20-minute segment on just NBA basketball, and a 20-minute segment on Major League Baseball. So this way, in case you missed the show and you want to go back and you don't want to go through a whole hour of watching the show, you can go right to that segment, and we're going to right to the meat and potatoes, and we're going to get to that right now since we're only got 20 minutes before our next show, 11:20 for Major League Baseball. All right, if you're interested in my top plays, my best bets, had a pretty good weekend. In fact, over the last couple of days, 3-1 yesterday on the NHL on Saturday. Let me see, on Saturday, the 17th. I had the Washington Capitals a winner. Edmonton Oilers, I went 2-0. In fact, I had a really good run here in the NHL. I went last night. I had, let me see, Washington. No, I didn't touch the NHL last night. That's right. We're getting to that point now where a lot of the prices are just absolutely crazy, right? Remember I said after an all-star break, you're going to see a lot of the favorites start coming in. And sure enough, let's take a look at the SBI real quickly before we get to the matchups. The NHL. Let's take a look at the favorites right now. And last night, 4-2. Look at the run now. Since that's the All-Star break. Remember I said, you guys, be careful. After the trade deadline, the NHL favorites absolutely go on a run. And sure enough, we are back to that. All right, let's go to game number 1 between the Canes and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, I think there's 8 games tonight in the NHL. And looking at the starting goalies for the Canes, Peter Mrazek against Andrei Vasilevsky. Vazzy. And this is going to be a great game. This is going to be a really good game here tonight. Now, the Lightning, a 116 favorite, the over-under at 5.5. Forecast looking for an upset here, 2.89, 2.58. The over-under set at 5.47. So we do like it to go under the total. And looking at this game in the last 10 games for the Canes, in fact, having a little bit of trouble with my only this game. This is the only game we had trouble with the feed here. Now, looking at Carolina, there was a win there. They won against Dallas. There's 2. And I think they're 5-5. So there's 3, 4, 5, and 6-4. Yeah, 6-4 in the last 10. And Tampa Bay's 4-6. Tampa Bay, the big loss to the Florida Panthers last game, 5-3. But they beat them the night before, 3-2. And man, Tampa Bay, that whole division, man, there's some really good teams in there. Detroit and Columbus, mind that. But Florida, Carolina, some really good teams. I think it's going to boil down to those. I think Florida is going to be the team that comes out of it, though. Quenneville's got those guys playing hard, and they made some nice sackers. And Frank the Tank has been playing Vetrano. He's been playing really good down the stretch. But, that's Florida. Carolina, since Mrazek is back, has provided a bit of a spark to the Canes, a little bit more confidence. 3-1 win over the Preds, 4-1 here. They lost to Detroit, though, but Detroit's always given them problems. But looking at tonight's game, when the Canes travel to Tampa Bay, they haven't done well in Tampa Bay. 1-9 straight up, and they are 3-7 to the under. So be careful if you want to play this game, because the Canes don't normally do well against Tampa Bay when they travel to Florida. Now, NHL teams coming off 1 day's rest. Tampa Bay is 13-3 on 1 day's rest at home. Tampa Bay looks good in this spot here, and I would lean towards Tampa Bay in this one. And you're getting a pretty good price tag at 116, and good goaltending matchup between Vasilevsky and Mrazek. All right, let's go to the next game, Minnesota against Arizona. And there's my guy Rui. Just like the NBA and NHL, don't bet MLB. I like Florida, Coyotes, Oilers, and Vegas today, says Rui from Portugal. All right, Minnesota, 152 price tag. Over-under set at 5.5. ATS forecast, computer pick, going to go with the Coyotes here. Look at Arizona. Now, Arizona, if you look at the standings, they're sitting in that 4th spot right now. One thing with Rick Tocchet, when he took over that job, he made that franchise compete hard. It's almost like Brindamore in the East, right? You look at what's going on right now in the West. You got Colorado, Vegas. They're going to fight for the number 1 and 2 spot. Minnesota, Minnesota, I got to give them credit. They don't have a lot of high-profile type name players, but it's like bullpen by committee. They're scrappy. They ain't just like the Marlins. And Arizona's they're benefiting from the St. Louis's misery right now because the Blues are not playing some really good hockey. Shark Kings and Anaheim. The Sharks got so much potential, but they haven't been able to put it together, right? But the Blues, I expect the Blues to catch up to Arizona. They got 2 games in hand, but watch out down the stretch. This is going to be a battle between Arizona and St. Louis. And you know what? The Sharks at 40 points. They got the talent to be there, but it's going to be tough to beat St. Louis. I think St. Louis is going to grab that 4th spot in the West. And looking at the matchup here tonight, Minnesota 152 favorite. Now Minnesota is a road favorite this year. Let me see the record here as a road favorite. 7-7, so 500 hockey on the road. But they're Jekyll and Hyde, right? Look at at home, 13-2. They're very good at home, 17-4. Wow, that's pretty amazing when you look at their home record. But they hide on the road, 10-12. So if you're gonna play this game here tonight, guys, I think Arizona might be the spot. It's too bad they're C-type teams. I don't bet on C-type teams. I just don't trust them. But if I were to play this game here tonight, I would be leaning towards Arizona. And, you must be saying to yourself, okay, why won't you bet on C-type teams? If you start betting on every game that's going on, when you look at the standings, right? If you take all those teams that, A, B, C-type teams in the Raymond Report, if you just cut it in half and bet on 50% of the games, and that's teams that are above 500 and the teams above 60%, the A and B-type teams, you're going to see a big change in your mindset, your bankroll, and the way you approach sports betting. When you start betting the board and you're betting bad teams, you can't expect bad teams to do good things. Bad teams will always break your heart in the end, and that's why I will not bet on teams below 500. And I've been doing this experiment the last couple of months, basically since December, and my bankroll has just went, completely 360 or 180, right? 180. So, eliminate the C-type teams on your betting habits, and you'll see a big difference when you are betting on sports. But because they're a C-type team, and you know what? Looking at their record on the year, they are 20-25. They're still 5 games below 500, 11-11 at home. So, maybe you start saying, okay, they're a C-type team, but they're 500 at home, so they're a B-type team at home. That's something to think about, right? Maybe something to think about in the Raymond Report. They're a C-type team overall, but they're a B-type team at home. Hey, I just thought about that. So maybe I'll have to go back to the drawing board on that one a bit. All right, let's take a look at San Jose against Vegas. You got the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the San Jose Sharks. Now, looking at the starting goalies tonight for San Jose and Vegas. And let me see here. Who do we got expected in nets? And Martin Jones against Robin Leonard. And, it's now that Leonard's back, gives Fleury a bit of time. But Fleury was on a run there. I thought he was going to win the Vezina in that spot this year, but he broke down a bit on a couple of games where Vegas had struggled a bit, right? Now, minus 233 is the price tag here tonight for Vegas. The over-under set at 5.5. Forecast, going to lean with the Golden Knights, 3-2. The over-under at 6.07. Vegas, 7-3 in their last 10. Coming off a big win over Anaheim, 5-2 2 days ago. And they're 12-5 at home on 1 day's rest, where San Jose on the road on 1 day's rest, 4-10. And in their last 10 trips to Vegas, 3-7 straight up. And if you do like the under in this game, the under is 7-3 in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. And when Vegas at home against teams below 500, they tend to beat the beatables 10-2, 7-5 to the over. So be careful if you're going to bet the total in this game. And for San Jose, coming off a loss this year, 6-6 straight up. And when they're playing 3 games in 4 nights on the road, only 1-3. Where Vegas, 3-3 in 3 games in 4 nights, 3-1 at home, coming off a road win as a favorite, but 12-4 coming off a win. I think Vegas rolls here. I just don't know how you bet against Vegas in this spot. We love the Panthers in Vegas, says Alex Johnson. I love the Panthers. I think the Panthers are going to win that division. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think Florida, I knew they'd be good. I didn't expect them to be this good. You know what I mean? Like, Quenneville's a great coach. We saw what he did in Chicago. But Huberdeau, for some reason, he stepped up his game, his leadership. Barkov, getting Gusev from New Jersey, big addition. I think Florida is going to be the team to watch there in that division. All right, let's go to the next game here. And Tampa Bay, Carolina. No, we already did that game. Let's go Edmonton, Montreal. The Habs. The Habs are they're night and day. You know what I mean? Jekyll and Hyde. You just don't. They're C-type. This is exactly what I mean by betting on C-type teams, right? When you bet on those type of teams that just inconsistent, the Boston Celtics, of NBA, they're the same type of way. Montreal Canadiens is Jekyll and Hyde. Let's take a look at their record on the year. Now, Montreal on the year, 19-23, 10-12 at home, 9-11 on the road. And, just you can't trust them. In their last 10 games, they're 4-6, coming off a 4-0 shutout to Ottawa. Like, you shouldn't be losing to the last place teams in your division, right? When you look at the division in the North, actually the North. So Ottawa's the last place team, and Montreal's fighting to keep track of that 4th spot, right? They're 19-14 on the year, and 47 points. Calgary's got 41 points. This here is a big game for Montreal and Edmonton. Edmonton, too, they're 54 points. They still got a shot at 2nd place here. It's going to be tough for them to get back in 1st place. Toronto, Toronto lost last night to Vancouver, right? Anything can happen. You still got, about 11 games left? So anything can happen, but every game matters, right? And this is where you're going to see the A-type teams like Edmonton. In fact, Edmonton, I don't know if they're 8. Yeah, 8-1 against C-type teams at home. I think Edmonton's going to start going on a roll, coming off a 3-0 win over Winnipeg. Everybody was on Winnipeg that game, and if you go to the Raymond Report, I had on Saturday night, I had 2 picks. I had 2 selections in hockey. I didn't play last night. I didn't like the prices last night, but I had Edmonton and Washington on Saturday, and Edmonton was my 5-star best bet. When I saw everybody start going on Winnipeg, and I said, really, you're going to give me Connor McDavid at plus money? I'll take that all day. Give me Edmonton any time of the week. I mean, Edmonton's, and they own them. They absolutely own them. So Montreal at Edmonton. Now, looking at the Habs in their last 10 trips to Edmonton, 5-5 straight up. And, Edmonton has struggled a bit against the Habs. In fact, if you look at the last couple of games, Montreal has come out on top. 3-2 on April 5th. 4-0 on the 30th, but I think that was the game Edmonton had the least the night before, and they came out flat. I think that was a Friday night game, right? On the 30th, let me double check. Let's check my, the 30th was a Tuesday, but I thought they played the least the night before, maybe. Or here, I'll just tell you right now. Let me see here, 4-0. Yeah, see, they beat the Leafs 3-2 the night before. So you can see they were flat, and that's the reason why they were flat. But at home this year, Edmonton 13-8 straight up at home, 10-11 to the under, 26-17 on the overall. But looking as a home favorite this year, 12-4 as a home favorite, where they're only 1-4. So you know what? They're sticking to the script. They're sticking to the strip, hey, on the Vegas Strip, right? They're sticking to the script. You don't want to say that 10 times. 12-4 straight up as a favorite. So as a favorite, they know their role, right? They do well as a favorite role, but when they're an underdog, 1-4 to the underdog role. So they haven't done well in a dog role. In fact, 6-6 on the road, and at home coming off a win, 8-3, 8-3 coming off a win this season, and Montreal coming off a loss on the road, 6-6. So hey, not a bad record when you think about it. 6-6 coming off a loss on the road. 3rd game in 4 nights for Montreal, and for Edmonton when they're coming off a 3-goal win, only 1-3. So be careful on this game. Edmonton, though, 3-1 straight up against teams with a 41-50% win percentage. But I do like Edmonton in this spot here tonight. All right, let's go to Ottawa, Calgary. We've got the Flames taking on the Ottawa Senators. Now, the Sens playing a bit of goalie roulette these days. Matt Murray back between the pipes. He should be back there tonight. Jacob Markstrom should be in nets here tonight. Jacob is 15-15 on the year, 2.79 goals against, 9.03 goals against average. And looking at the forecast here, 3.1 to 2.35. The over-under set at, let me see here, to 5.48. But big price tag on the Flames, right? Big price tag on the Flames, minus 213. 3-7 Ottawa on the road against C-type teams. So teams you would expect them to beat on the road below 500. Only 3-7 straight up. And for the Ottawa Senators on the road this season, they are 6-16. They're more competitive, I find, at home. Not so much on the road. Calgary playing 500 on the road, 10-10. And when the Flames coming off a loss in their last game, 6-6, 0-2 as a road loss as an underdog. And let me see here, what else? Maybe the under. Maybe the under is where you want to go in this one. Let me see, Ottawa. I don't know. This is a tough one here. Ottawa is a road underdog this year. 6-16. Giving up 4.45 goals against. No, I wouldn't touch the under. Giving up 4.45. They don't play any defense. And but the last 3 games, tighten it up on the back end, 1.67. Where Calgary, same thing, 1.67. Maybe. You know what? Maybe a 3-2 type game, right? What do we predict? Yeah, 3-2. So maybe a 3-2 type game tonight. But like I said, you got 2 C-type teams. I will not do C-on-C crime. All right, Chicago taking on Nashville. And looking at the Habs and Habs-Nots. Yeah, that's right. How you doing, Mark? Mark Nation's in the house. And let me see here. Chicago taking on the Nashville Predators now. The Predators, looking at their last 10 games, 6-4 straight up, 11-2 against teams below 500 at home. So they've done well against teams below 500 at home. UC Saros is expected. Kevin Lankinen looks like he might get the nod for Chicago. Now, the line on this game is 141 on the Nashville Predators. We have Nashville winning 3.1 to 2.6. The over-under at 5.71. The last time these two teams met was on April 3rd. It was a 3-0. That was a Saturday afternoon game, I believe. I believe that was a Saturday afternoon game. Yep. And it was a 3-0 shutout, but they got outshot in that game. Chicago played really well. It's just they ran into a hot goaltender. And there's nothing you can do. When you run into a hot goaltender, he can stop BB pellets, right? Yeah, there's nothing you can do when you run into a hot goaltender. Nashville, 8-2 in their last 10 games against Chicago. The Chicago Blackhawks, 2-8 straight up in Nashville. Does not look good for Chicago in this spot, especially when Nashville is 11-2 against C-type teams. All right, if you're just tuning in right now and you're wondering how come he's started early, again, I'm doing 20-minute segments on certain sports, so this way I don't keep you hostage here for the full hour. And we talk about the NBA. We started the NBA at 10 o'clock, and then we're doing NHL, and then we're going to do Major League Baseball at 11:20. So if you want to join us live for the baseball show, every day, 10 o'clock for the NBA, 10:40 NHL, and 11:20 for the MLB, 10:40 NHL. All right, let's go to the next game here on deck between Detroit and Dallas. And folks, don't forget, if you want to follow some of the top pickers for hockey, you want to go to hockeypicks.com. Follow the top pickers. Right now, the top scorer at hockeypicks.com is RMC Ray. RMC Ray, 865 points, coming off a pretty good night. In fact, let me see here. RMC Ray, let's see if he's one of the most followed right now. Once you get to top scorer, you should get a good following. And let's see what RMC Ray is doing right now. Let me see here. RMC Ray. Let me go Control F. RMC. Yeah, he went 5-4 yesterday, so not a bad day, above 500, or actually 2 days ago. And folks, you want to follow some of the top pickers right here at hockeypicks.com. All right, and also if you're just tuning in, make sure to check out our new basketball site, bballpicks.com. bballpicks, if you're a basketball fan, bballpicks.com. Check it out. It's the same concept as Hockey Picks and the bullpenpicks.com. All right, Detroit taking on Dallas. Now, the Stars are 238. Now, again, another high price tag. And, I look at Dallas, a C-type team, right? These C-type teams with these big price tags. Man, if you do like, you like underdogs, Detroit might be a nice spot here tonight. But they're only 1-6 on the road against C-type teams, so they struggle against the beatables, where Dallas is 5-6. But Dallas, they still got that Stanley Cup hangover from last year, right? Even though they didn't win, you can tell that this is not the same Dallas team. I think going to the finals and playing all that hockey and then right back at it 2 months later, they didn't get enough time to rest. Anton Hudobin is expected tonight. Jonathan Bernier looks like he might get the nod here between the pipes. But looking at Dallas at home this year, 10-14, 17-26 overall, where Detroit 6-16. But Detroit 4-6 in their last 10 in Dallas. The Stars own the Red Wings though in the last 10, 7-3 straight up, coming off a 5-1 win over Columbus, where Detroit beating Chicago in their lost to Chicago 4-0 in their last game, but they beat them the day before 4-1, right? So still coming off a loss, and for the Red Wings coming off a loss on the road, 4-12 this season, and when the last 3 games have gone under the total, they are 0-4 in their next game. Little indicators pointing towards Dallas, but Dallas, nothing here that really tells me that they're the play here tonight. Even though they're 4-0 the last 3 years at home against Detroit, this is a different year, right? COVID situation. Maybe the under. Maybe the under is where you want to lean in this one. And looking at the last 10 games for Detroit, 4-6, giving up only 3 goals against, only 2 goals in their last 2. Where Dallas. One thing you gotta give Dallas, they play a lot of defensive hockey, right? 1.8 goals against in the last 10 games. I think the under is where you want to go in this one. And the last game of the night, Columbus taking on the Florida Panthers. Now, looking at the Panthers, minus 2.27 is the line. Over-under set at 5.5. ATS forecast, computer pick, gonna lean with the Florida Panthers here. 3-2, the over-under at 5.88. Last 10 games for the Panthers, 6-4 straight up, 2-8 for the Blue Jackets. And for the daily market value index, I had Florida at minus 1.46. And if you're looking at the line here, way overvalued. Florida's overvalued here tonight. 11-4 against teams below 500 at home, where Columbus 3-5. Columbus absolutely melded in now. 0-5 in their last 10 games. Save your money and bet on another game because you never know. You always want to respect the league, but now we're at the point in the season where points matter, and Florida's fighting Carolina and Tampa Bay, and I think they're going to be in tough. Columbus is going to be in tough here tonight. All right, let's take a look at the stats and trends here at ATS Stats. It's 21 minutes. I'm about a minute late here. So, again, if you're new, you're just tuning in, you're saying, how come he's only doing 20-minute shows? I'm trying to cut the segments to 2 things. I'm trying to accomplish 2 things. 1, get 20 minutes of valuable information for sports bettors in a shorter window. So this way, if you miss the show, you don't have to listen to a full hour to get the information. You just go back, check out the hockey segment, and this way, we scratch that itch, right? The thing at the end of the day, guys, a sports handicapping show. This is a NHL handicapping workshop. I'm hoping doing more workshops like this to help you win more money with your sports handicapping. And if you're interested in my top plays, you can always get them here at atsstats.com. Only $99 for the seasons, and you get my best bets. Guys, it's the best deal in town. $99, you get my top plays each and every day, and I win. All right, Tampa Bay, last 2 years, when they lost their last game by 2 goals or more, they're 21-5 straight up. So nice bounce back trend here on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Montreal, home or away, last 5 years, coming off a game that went over, and they lost the last game by 4 goals or less, and they're 2-3 in their last 5 games, 10-1-1 to the under. Now, nice trends here on Dallas. The Dallas Stars is a home favorite when the total is 5.5 during the month of April, 21-4 straight up. So a nice little trend there on the Dallas. In fact, let me take a look at the 80, some of the stats here. Let me go to the 80% club. Go to NHL. And again, if you're just tuning in right now, I'm noticing people are just tuning in. What I'm doing is I'm cutting the segments shorter. So this way, at 10 o'clock, I do the NBA from 10 to 10:20, then a 20-minute break because I'll give myself a little bit of time for the spillover. And then 10:40 NHL to 11, and I'll be back at 11:20 with Major League Baseball to do the Major League Baseball. This way, if you missed the show, you can always go back and catch the segment and then help you with your handicapping, because at the end of the day, we're trying to help you win money, right? All right, the Preds are 15-1 as a home favorite, playing on Monday the last 5 years. So if you like Nashville, nice little price, I believe, at 140. So we have a nice 93.7% stat. The Montreal Canadiens, 11-1 to the under as an away underdog, coming off a home loss as a favorite the last 4 years. So, depending who's between the pipes here tonight, maybe should be Carey Price for Montreal. Mike Smith for the Oilers. And let me see here. The Lightning, 10-1 at home against Carolina the last 7 years. Again, Tampa Bay absolutely owns the Canes. And if you like the Minnesota Wild, as an away dog, and they allowed 2 goals or less in back-to-back games, they are 9-1 straight up in their next game. All right, folks, there you have it. That's the NHL report here today. A little long here, 24 minutes, trying to keep these to 20-minute segments. But again, join us here live at 11:20. I'm going to break down all the Major League Baseball games, and you can get that workshop for free just by visiting our channel each and every day right here at atsstats.com. All right, there you have it. We'll see you back at 11:20 with Major League Baseball.